time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
What's up, guys? My name is Brendan, and today I have some huge announcements. But before I get into all of that, I want to tell you guys a story. I want to tell you guys how I built Mastering Tricking. This channel hasn't always had such a clear vision forward, and I want to share that with you guys and also tell you kind of how I got to this point now. This channel has always been about tricking. I haven't really talked that much about my story or how it even started. So today I'll be telling you guys about all that, and then sharing with you where we're moving forward, some big announcements and some things to look out for. Thank you guys so much, and please enjoy. This is how I started mastering tricking. First, I want to set the scene for you guys. Right before I started mastering tricking, I was here at the University of Maryland. I was 22 years old. I had been tricking for about 4 or 5 years, and I was studying to be a doctor. I wanted to be a physical therapist. A physical therapist is a doctor that teaches people how to heal using exercise. And that career I wanted it. To be a physical therapist meant you got to use extreme knowledge of anatomy, physiology, biomechanics, and kinematics to help people heal, get stronger, and recover to where they were before they got hurt. And this meant a lot to me because I had just been recovering from my knee injury. And this knee injury was the knee injury that changed my life. You see, guys, when I started tricking, I never really viewed myself as a tricking instructor. Rather, I wanted to get good. I wanted to be one of the best in the world. But then I got hurt. I tore my knee and pretty much ruined it. I got an ACL tear along with a meniscus tear, and I strained my MCL and my PCL. I got the royal knee treatment, and I thought I was never going to be able to trick at the same level again. I thought I had pretty much retired my competitive career off this injury. So, if you can't do, teach. I figured that if I couldn't contribute my skills to the tricking community, the least I could do was share what I had learned so far from a good background in Taekwondo and gymnastics. You see, when I started tricking, I learned really fast. Because I had a strong background, I'd been doing gymnastics pretty much since I was born, and I did 8 years of classical Taekwondo. That gave me the perfect background to start tricking because I understood a lot of the movements and how they would fit together. But like I said, I thought I was never going to be competitive again. I thought I was just going to be teaching. So I decided to do the Mastering series. It was 1 tutorial a week uploaded to YouTube, and there was one goal. The goal was to get me to Hooked Gathering. Hooked is the biggest gathering in the world, and it's a competitive tricking event. Trickers come from all over the world to battle and throw down. Honestly, I never thought I'd be able to battle at the level that I was battling before, but I thought that if I could teach and just help enough people, that I could get myself a ticket to Hooked Gathering, the biggest gathering in the world, and that was just such a dream to me. I don't think I could ever have afforded a trip to Amsterdam if it wasn't for tricking. But let's continue the story. The next thing for me was the grind. Doing 1 tutorial a week doesn't sound like a lot, until you factor in that I was still trying to be a doctor, get through all the pre-med requirements at university so that way I could get myself into a PT school, which is like the physical therapist version of med school. So I would wake up, go to classes, train, go do my homework, drive home an hour and a half, film, drive back an hour and a half, eat, sleep a little bit, get up, and then do it all again. It was a hard grind, and that didn't even include labs, projects, presentations, all the other things that go into being a good student. That said, I felt like I was juggling it like a pro. I had good grades in all of my classes, and the analytics on YouTube just kept growing. And I kept hearing from trickers telling me how much they valued the content, how much they really used the tutorials, and how it maybe kept them from getting injured or helped them get a trick that they never thought they would get before. This channel really affected me in that way when I started getting real, considerate, generous feedback from the trickers out in the community who were using the content. It really blew my mind. But it was hard to see all of that. I had my blinders on because I was working my ass off. I really wanted to be a doctor, and I didn't really know what would become of the Mastering series or Mastering Tricking or any of that. I thought Hooked Gathering was maybe like a 3 to 5 year goal, but things happened way faster than I ever thought they were going to. Then came the explosion. I never really meant this to get big, at least not to the level of big where it would consume my life. But once I started releasing videos week after week after week, they started adding up, and then I started getting messages, emails, everything, just spam from the world. Trickers who were in Cirque du Soleil who were looking to improve their skills but didn't really know how to change their gymnastics technique into a more tricking technique. And then I'd get messages from athletes with muscular disorders who needed more slow, very gentle progressions so that way they could get to where they needed to go without collecting a bunch of injuries along the way. And these messages just kept coming, and each one was just so amazing. It was this person who just really wanted to get better, who was looking out for a helping hand. It meant the world to me that they would even reach out to me. Like I said, I never really considered myself to be in the position where I kind of ended up in. But this explosion kept growing and growing and growing until even Danny and Laurent reached out to me and said, hey, if you want to come to Hooked Gathering, we will help make that happen. And then everything was set to go. Everything was growing, I had good grades, and I had finally gotten my ticket to Hooked Gathering. This leads us into my final semester at University of Maryland. This is the part in the story where things start getting hairy. I thought I was doing a good job and juggling things really well. I had won my ticket to Hooked Gathering, Mastering Tricking was growing more than ever, and I had straight A's in all of my classes. Like I said, I felt like things were all in order and good to go. But that's when things went wrong. Hooked Gathering, which I had scheduled to go the summer before, turned out to be the same weekend as finals week. And that really sucked because it forced me to make a choice. I went to all my professors about 2 months before, and they were all really nice. For the most part, they said I could take the final right before I got on my plane to go to Amsterdam. But there was one that wouldn't. My exercise physiology professor, This was one of my favorite classes and one that I was doing great in. I went and spoke to him a few months before the end of the semester and said, hey, there's this great opportunity for me to go to a trip of a lifetime, something I never thought I'd be able to do. And he said, okay, but I will give you a final that is twice as hard, that you'll have to take a month before I've gone over any of the material. He essentially said, I will punish you and try and fail you if you go to this trip. And that broke my heart. Like I said, I really wanted to be a doctor. I wanted that. I have a passion for biomechanics, helping people heal when they're injured and understanding how the body works. But I had to make a choice. I had to choose between going and doing hooked gathering and figuring out tricking, or I was gonna finish my time at University of Maryland, go off to PT school and be a doctor. I never wanted to make the choice, but unfortunately I had to choose. Long story short, I chose tricking. I went to the administration office and said, hey guys, I know I have straight A's and things are going really well here, but I have to make a choice and I need to drop out of college to pursue tricking. Now that sounds absolutely ridiculous when I say it, and at the time it felt ridiculous. It was a big change in my life, going from wanting to be a professional doctor to wanting to be a professional tricker, whatever that even meant. You see, I had been a professional tricker for years. When you're a professional, really all that means is you're trading your skills for some sort of compensation, usually in the terms of money. I would teach private lessons, seminars, I'd go to gatherings as a guest, and I'd make a little bit of money through all of that, but certainly never enough to make my full-time career. So I had to make a lot of changes, and I had to really think about where I wanted mastering tricking to go. I went to Hooked Gathering and it was amazing, but the entire time I couldn't stop thinking, what's the next step? Next came the testing step. Like I said, there are a ton of different ways to make money as a professional tricker, and I wasn't really sure which one would be the one for me. So I decided to just go out and try them all. I kept doing the content creator thing, pushing my Patreon and making content on YouTube to help people learn and grow. Not only that, I decided to go out and teach a few seminars. After leaving University of Maryland, I went and taught a seminar at a university more famous than my own, at Oberlin University, and that felt amazing. I went and battled as a competitive tricking athlete on Adrenaline TV, and that was an extremely interesting experience for me. Then I went to Experience Tricking in New Orleans and checked out what it would be like to do a super amazingly run, formal, kid-friendly gathering. And I went to Neo and threw down bangers on their outdoor spring floor. I tried and tested a ton of different things. And now I feel like I have a good vision of where I want to take mastering tricking. And now guys, we are back to the present. I've spent the last year and a half dipping my toes into different things to make mastering tricking my profession. The entire time I've been doing this little testing thing, I've had a 9 to 5. I've been managing a restaurant here in College Park. But no more. About a month ago, I left that job to do mastering tricking full time. Now that I have a solid idea of where I want this business to go. First, I want you guys to go check out the new website. I completely rebuilt howtomastertricking.com to make it a better educational tricking resource for all of you guys. There's now sections for beginner, intermediate, and advanced tutorials, along with health, conditioning, and everything else that's available on the website. Guys, please go check that out. Second, we now have the best mastering tricking clothing we have ever made. I'm wearing it right now. It is all of these tees. They are super breathable, 100% polyester interlock with nice vinyl heat transfer on the top that sticks and lasts forever. They're also super breathable. They have the text design in the front and then the logo design in the back. I absolutely love these shirts, and guys, please go grab one if you're interested. Third, I want to keep writing the mastering curriculum. The sport of tricking is so young, and we have so much to figure out in terms of where we want to take it and how good we want to get as a sport. And what I mean by that is, do we want to get to the Olympics? Or do we want to make the most amazing underground grassroots competition in the world? That's not just for me to decide, that's for the entire tricking community. And lastly, I'll still be going to gatherings, teaching seminars, and doing all of that. If you guys are interested in having me out or having me teach, please go to the contact page on howtomastertricking.com. Guys, thank you so much for watching. That is it. I have huge announcements to come. Oh, and this is the biggest one. I'll be uploading content 5 days a week from now on, Monday through Friday. And each weekend I'll be making one exclusive patron piece of content. Something that is like a vlog behind the scenes or about my personal background. I am super excited for all the changes to come. Guys, check out howtomastertricking.com, check out the clothing, the curriculum, maybe even become a patron. Thank you guys again, and have a lovely day. Guys, I want to end this video with a small disclaimer. I had to leave a lot out. I tried to condense 3 years of my life into one YouTube video, so I had to cut a bunch of stuff. That said, I wanted to say that this channel is not about me. It's not Brendan's story. It's mastering tricking. So guys, a lot of my personal life I'll probably be leaving out. This channel is to help you guys grow and succeed. If you guys have questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. But for the most part, this is about tricking. Thank you guys again, and have a lovely day.